I didn't think it could get any worse. Then I had to go and turn on Harmless Phosphorescence. Hello, everyone. This is Thoreau Smiley, and Mom, I need to call you back. Something magical is happening. Who's joining me this week?
Hi, I'm Josh Cece, and when I need to remember a complex equation, I tattoo it on my body.
I'm Brian Letch, and I'll be narrating this whole episode from the couch.
I'm Alaric Weber, and I'm highly weaponizable.
And it's true. I often just throw him at people. This is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released, full-length, live-action superhero ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This show, it is brought to you by our patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. Woo. You can be a patron too. Just head on over to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. We got lots of bonus content there. We've got a Star Wars miniseries, holiday shows. We do music shows every week coming at you. The American Top 4, where we count down 4 new songs every week that we nominate. And we've got the monthly movie for $1 a month. You can get an extra podcast, the monthly movie. Guys, we have a winner for August.
Yes, I've been in suspense all week.
Same.
All right. So
any guesses? Wait, sorry, we won't take long, but any guesses, guys?
I'm
gonna say
what the options were.
So all right. So the
I'm
options,
gonna say JFK.
The options were Little Monsters, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Ghostbusters 2, and Roadhouse, because we were choosing from the year 1989.
Oh, it's definitely Bill and Ted.
I don't know, because I think Ghostbusters 2 might have broken through.
All right, we each chose one of the 3.
All right, so here we go. Little Monsters got a total of 11 votes.
Damn. People like
we had a tie for second place.
Oh.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure tied with Ghostbusters 2 with 22 votes each. Roadhouse
it's Christmas.
squeaked by in the end with 25 votes.
How did Roadhouse win?
Oh my! Wow. This is
taller.
This is like another Every Which Way But Loose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of situation. The Dark Horse. Dark Horse. I don't know. Hick movie.
Yeah. It came in right at the end. Facebook was overwhelmingly Roadhouse.
Wow.
And Instagram was skewed a little Roadhouse. Jerry Wagner actually was
voted 20 times.
He might have, I don't know. But his vote on Instagram is the one that tipped it over from a 3-way tie, and then there were a few more on Facebook that came in afterwards.
Thank you, Jerry. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed to admit I have yet to see Roadhouse in my life.
Are you shitting me?
Wow.
I am not shitting you.
I don't think I've seen it since 1990, but wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of my every now and then, like Point Break, tickles me.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to revisiting this thing because I am crazy for Swayze.
And Ben Gazzara and Sam Elliott.
Oh God, that's right. Sam
and the
Elliott.
Jeff Healey band.
Yeah. Who was? I'm sorry. The Watchmen HBO series. What was the name of the lead character? Not the character, but the actress.
Regina King.
Oh, Tisha Campbell. Oh, Regina. No,
Regina King.
Yeah.
Watchmen.
Yes?
Yeah, Regina King.
Oh yes, yeah, Regina King. You're
yeah.
right.
I heard her on Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR. And she admitted to having a crush on Sam Elliott, and when she was asked why, she brought up Roadhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I actually heard that's like Roadhouse Sam Elliott is like specifically Roadhouse Sam Elliott is like a thing for like a lot of ladies
You'll see why.
of a certain age. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's undeniable. You'll see. I know I get the vapors.
So that's going to be fun. So $1 a month is all you need to listen to our monthly movie, guys. Roadhouse will be coming out later the month of August. 1989. We choose a different year every month, and then we each nominate a song. You guys vote on it, and then we do a episode on it. So stay tuned.
It would have been fun if we had nominated and Batman '89 had won.
Oh God, and we did Batman again.
Just again, like all the things we didn't say.
Oh God. So stay tuned for that. That's patreon.com/harmless entertainment. $1 a month is all you need. However, on Harmless Phosphorescence right now, we are not going to be talking about Roadhouse. We are going to be talking about Iron Man 3.
Roadhouse will come up though.
Yeah.
It's coming soon.
I'm Tony Stark. I build neat stuff. I got a great girl. And occasionally, save the world. So why can't I sleep?
You elected me on a single platform. I will defend this country at all costs. The Mandarin must be stopped.
You don't know who I am. You'll never see me coming.
Don't know who I am. You'll never see me coming.
Ben Kingsley has Bane.
The question, where is Tony Stark?
Things are different now. I have to protect the one thing that I can't live without. That's you. Mr. Stark.
Today is the first day of what's left of your life. I'm gonna offer the choice. Do you want an empty life or a meaningful death?
You're not a man. You're nothing more than a maniac. I'm not afraid of you. No politics here. Just good old-fashioned revenge. We do need backup.
That's your department.
Here's my boys.
Iron Man 3.
I wish it was like Mr. Stark, Mr. Gandhi.
We'll get to Ben Kingsley, but yes, Iron Man 3 released May 3rd, 2013, with a running time of 131 minutes.
So this was I'm sorry. So it's a Christmas movie.
I was gonna say yeah.
A la Die Hard. But both were released in the summer of the year. Is that correct? Die Hard was
also a summer movie.
Summer movie. Okay.
Yeah, blockbuster before.
Oh, and Gremlins, also released in the summer.
That's right.
Yeah. The whole summer Christmas movie is interesting.
They're blockbusters.
Some people just can't get enough of Christmas.
I agree.
That's true.
They need it all year round.
They do. They do. I am not one of them. I am such a Scrooge. Anyways. It cost $200 million and made $1.215 billion.
Dang.
Until Black Panther, it was the biggest MCU individual,
Standalone.
non-Avengers.
Wow.
Yeah, standalone
Wow.
until Black Panther.
Well,
Yeah.
Shane Black, we'll get to him, but
Yeah.
Oh, that dude.
I
Yeah.
love what he does.
Yeah, I don't think this is his best movie, but it's
No.
he does some good stuff, and you can see his fingerprints all over this thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
for sure.
fun the whole way
Yeah.
through.
Absolutely. And that means, guys, it is time for us to play the box office top 10 game.
Are we still doing this?
Yes, forever, Al.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe
I
until
love
we-
it.
Maybe
love it.
until we get to the when we get to 2020, it's going to be weird.
Yeah. Right. I mean, maybe even
When
a
there
couple
was no
years
box
before.
office.
Well,
When
there
it's all Marvel.
there were weeks in 2020 where the number one movie in the country was Ghostbusters, because the only theaters where they were counting receipts were drive-ins that were doing revival.
Huh.
Fun.
So it's going to be a weird year that year, but when we get there,
we're going to get to guess Ghostbusters in 2020. Don't worry. I don't think any of us will remember. But
yeah, that's like 6 months from now. But
I don't even know what we're talking
Thoreau,
about.
make sure to change all the names.
okay, I will.
All right, so Iron Man was number 1.
Yeah, without question. There's no point in even guessing on that. But the other 9, we're going to guess. This is the game, gentle listeners, where I will describe each movie in the top 10 of the domestic box office for the week of May 3rd, 2013, using only the box office mojo description and leaving out any proper nouns that I must in order to maintain confidentiality.
So official sounding.
I know. You guys ready to play?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Here we go. Coming in at number 10 for the week of May 3rd, 2013, a couple begin to experience some unusual activity after bringing their lost nieces and nephew home. With the help of surveillance cameras, they learn they're being stalked by a nefarious demon.
So it's Paranormal Activity 2?
Xbox edition? Is this the one? Because one of them was Xbox heavy.
Oh, the Xbox paid him a little bit of money.
Well, no, they had the sensor thing. So yeah, they were showing off that Xbox had
They were
the
doing
dance
Kinect?
sensor. Yeah, the Kinect.
They were playing Just Dance.
I remember watching it and thinking I hope they dance more in this movie.
Yeah. All right, so is it 2?
No,
Yeah, was
it
it
is not
3?
Paranormal Activity.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Normal activity.
Right. Then somebody needs to go to court.
Actually, it is Scary Movie 5.
Oh,
Oh.
5.
charity
Yeah,
is
all right.
protected, I
I was kinda
guess.
Yeah, so they were doing Paranormal Activity in 2013. Coming in at number 9, a motorcycle stunt rider turns to robbing banks as a way to provide for his lover and their newborn child, a decision that puts him on a collision course with an ambitious rookie cop navigating a department ruled by a corrupt detective.
Ghost Riders 3 and 4.
Didn't have to change a word of
Criminal
that.
justice.
Right. In this thing, we've got Eva Mendes. Oh, it could be Ghost Rider.
Of course.
Oh, is this this is the Ryan Reynolds in the Pines?
Ryan Gosling.
Gosling.
Oh.
Bradley Cooper. Ray Liotta. The Place Beyond
Drive?
the Pines.
Oh.
Yeah, you
Oh,
had
the
it.
place beyond the.
Yeah, Brian had it, or most of it.
I like my
I
Ryan.
saw that movie, so
Goslings and Reynolds
Your weird house.
Gosling.
in my mind.
Gosling
All
and
the
Reynolds. Back in action. Number 8. Oh my lord. A small-time magician is swept away
There are only 2 kinds.
on an adventure and forced into a power struggle.
That was a Steve Carell movie, right? That
No.
magic one in Vegas.
Oh,
so bad.
not what is it? Fool me once. What is it? It's, what was it called?
I sleight of hand.
Fool me thrice.
Shame
Right.
on you.
Yeah.
All of us.
Now You See Me. Was that what
Oh,
that
yeah,
that one was
Can't
called?
Get Fooled Again. That was the sequel.
I can't remember.
Was this a Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
This is
No,
not,
the one
and
we're
it's
talking about.
it's not the movie Josh was talking about either, whatever it may have been called.
Oh, The Prestige? No.
No, it is. This is in fact a latter-day prequel to an extremely famous film, one of the most famous films ever made.
Titanic 2.
No, but did you ever see Titanic 2?
No, what? That's a thing.
Yes, Titanic 2
Yeah.
exists, but it's not a sequel to Titanic. It's about a boat named Titanic 2, and it came out like a year after the first Titanic.
Oh, right.
They were just capitalizing on it,
Yeah.
hoping that some people were fooled into thinking it was a sequel.
Yeah, but it was just a movie about people saying that's a really bad idea to name this boat.
I was going to
Titanic
say,
2.
how'd that get
Nothing
out of the
happened.
board?
Oh, I got it. It's Wizard of Oz something with James Franco.
Yeah.
And what's her face and Jackie from that 70s show.
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oz the Great and
Tales
Powerful.
to
Yes.
Astonish.
Yeah.
I was about to say Citizen Bane, but
Citizen Bane.
What's his rosebud?
The Emerald City's
The
Reckoning.
darkness. The
Yeah,
darkness is his rosebud.
Reckoning. It's his Reckoning. Reckoning is my rosebud.
Like,
You're not supposed to just say what your rosebud is, Bane.
I totally expected him
That takes
to
away
say
all
that
the
when he died.
seriousness. All right, coming in at number 7 in the box office top 10. 2 young boys encounter a fugitive and form a pact to help him evade the vigilantes that are on his trail and to reunite him with his true love. Holy
It's that Nick Nolte Martin Short vehicle.
3 fugitives.
Yeah, that's it.
That was that was part of like the Martin Short buddy trilogy. We had 3 fugitives, Inner Space, and what was that last? There was one more where he was with,
If you tell me the plot.
I think he was with Danny Glover, and it's not Lethal Weapon. I can't remember. It's been too long. We lost Brian.
He'll be right back.
That's what he always says that. And he always
He just went out for some milk.
The milk must have won the milk because he never came back.
He won the milk.
I can't remember what it's like. My dad went out for milk, came home, drank the milk, and then left forever.
All right, so let's see. So this movie stars Matthew McConaughey.
He's a small-time magician.
He's a fugitive, and he formed a pack with 2 boys. Oh no! Wait.
Gross.
Yeah. It's called Mud.
Mud.
Yeah.
One or
reconnaissance.
2 Ds.
1D.
1D. Okay.
1D, 1U, but 1N.
But the U is silent.
Yeah. Hey, Brian's back. So that was Mud.
No.
Starring McCon.
The part of the reconnaissance.
Wooderson. The reconnaissance. The Medici funded.
Coming in at number 6. After their cave is destroyed, a family must trek through an unfamiliar world with the help of an inventive boy.
The Crudes?
Crudes?
The Crudes. They're making a sequel to that this year.
I thought they already had. I haven't seen him, but
8 years later. I don't know. I just didn't think there was that big of a, what happened that like there was enough outcry for a Crude sequel that they had to make it, but not enough that they waited 8 years.
well, they can't afford to rotate animators, so it's the same guys. Do we have any ideas?
It's a crudescence.
They had to wait for Nicolas Cage to be available.
That's probably true. He's got schedule.
Coming in at number 5. A long divorced couple fakes being married as their family unites for a wedding. Oh my God, is Diane Keaton in this? It looks like one of those kind of movies.
Yeah. Something.
Yes, it is Diane Keaton.
Of course. It's happening again. It's got to give. Or let's see.
Oh my God, who else is in
That's
this
how it
thing?
goes.
The thing that is doing it.
Love is the answer.
No, this actually has a less obtuse name. We've got Robert De Niro as her ex-husband, Katherine Heigl as blonde lady,
Yeah.
Amanda Seyfried as other blonde lady, Robin Williams, Susan Sarandon, holy crap,
Also as blonde lady.
Christine Ebersol, Topher Grace.
Jesus.
It's called The Big Wedding. Yes.
God,
With that star
great title.
power.
I know.
That's
Yeah,
all.
can you imagine like being told that they're like it's 1986. You're told there's a movie starring Diane Keaton, Robert De Niro, and Robin Williams, and Susan Sarandon.
And Topher Grace, and you're all
Yeah.
Topher what?
Topher who? What is
Yeah.
Topher?
And then you're told, and no one likes it, and it'll be forgotten immediately. Coming in at number 4. A veteran assigned to extract Earth's remaining resources begins to question what he knows about his mission and himself.
Elysium?
No, but it's in that vein. This is Monotooth Tom Cruise.
Oh.
Hmm.
Jack Reacher?
No. That one did not take place after the apocalypse.
I gotta say that's just a hilarious movie title, especially for a guy who's notoriously tiny and suspected to be gay.
Jack Reacher.
Yeah, just imagine him on his toes trying to get something from the
I'm
top
like,
shelf.
Let's change it to Jack Tall Guy.
Not wearing lifts.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
this
definitely-
is rewind, repeat. End of
No.
Tomorrow. What the
That was
fuck
actually a
that?
pretty good movie, though.
That was Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah, that
MI
was Tom Cruise. I like that.
MI3?
Oh,
No.
no, this was Tom
is a
Cruise is very small cast.
He's a very small man.
It's a
That's where he breaks
post-apocalyptic
his leg.
sci-fi movie. It's not an action film. A post-apocalyptic sci-fi. He's assigned to
War of the
extract
Worlds.
Earth's remaining resources.
No. Dang it!
It has a one-word title, and it's
Extraction.
no, but it's like it's like that, but no. It's called Oblivion.
Yes, yes.
This week's titles are
I actually kind of liked that movie.
mud.
It was all right. It was better than After Earth with Will Smith, which was kind of similar-ish in concept, at least.
Is
Coming
this
in
the
at-
one where he's a bunch of clones of himself?
I don't-
Spoiler alert.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I saw this like 5 years ago, and I don't really remember it.
That was also Moon with Sam Rockwell. He found a bunch
yeah.
of clones of himself on the moon.
That's right. Number 3. In 1947, Jackie Robinson becomes the first African American to play in Major League Baseball in the modern
42
Yeah.
42.
is
Yep.
number.
Chadwick.
Oh yeah, Chadwick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good movie.
Really, really good movie. Number 2 this week, a trio of bodybuilders in Florida get caught up in an extortion ring and a kidnapping scheme that goes terribly wrong. Do kidnapping schemes ever not go terribly wrong?
Yeah.
Is this a Fast and the Furious movie? There'd be more of them.
No, but it's like
3.
let's see. We got The Rock in here for sure.
Walking. No.
And I can't tell. That might be. I can't tell who the other two dudes are, but definitely one of them is The Rock.
The other two are Paper and Scissors.
Sweet. Wish.
It's Pain and Gain. Did they make a
Jesus
sequel to that? I feel
Christ.
like that's a series or something.
Ache and Fatigue, was that the sequel?
Leg Day.
Country and Western is the third one.
Both kinds.
Yeah. And of course, number one, when Tony Stark's world is torn apart by a formidable terrorist called the Mandarin, he starts an odyssey of rebuilding and retribution. So that is our box office top 10. That brings us to our character and comic book background, Mr. Alaric Weber.
Hi.
Who or how and what?
Why?
Where and whom?
When?
Yes.
Okay. So the Mandarin, a supervillain appearing in Marvel Comics, most notably as the archenemy of Iron Man. He was created by Stan Lee and Don Heck, first appeared in Tales of Suspense number 50, all the way back in February of 1964. That was the cover date on the issue.
And I just want to be real upfront and clear at this point that the original comic Mandarin is an extremely racist Yellow Panic style.
Oh yeah, the
Like-
first Iron Man is just oof.
Anybody who hasn't seen the original comic Mandarin, like super racist.
Something
So
to keep in mind with people's upset with this character.
yeah, that to keep that in mind. Yeah, and
Was it-
also to keep in mind as to why it was so controversial, the fact that this character was appearing even in name in a film.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a Fu Manchu
Yeah,
kind
Charlie
of
Chan.
stereotype?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like super mysterious Orient, like beard stroking, like
Picture Alec Baldwin.
yeah. Yes,
In the
Like-
shadows.
like that, but also like getting their L's and R's constantly mixed up.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
In the comic, the Mandarin was a genius scientist and master martial artist. His primary sources of power are his 10 rings, adapted from alien technology.
Mm.
Well, and
In
the
an
big hand
effort-
that wields them.
Yeah. In an effort to avoid as much work as possible this week, I will reveal that the true Mandarin does not appear in this film.
We may or may not revisit that with Shang-Chi.
Exactly. We will possibly discuss him in a future movie.
Tales of Suspense.
Moving on to Aldrich Killian. Created by Warren Ellis and Adi Granov, first appeared in Iron Man Volume 4, Number 1, January of 2005, and died in the same issue.
Wow.
Yes.
He was a brilliant scientist. Hang on. God. Okay, I misplaced it.
Oh, genius level intellect.
Yeah, we actually, we should have had one for the Mandarin too. And for Aldrich Killian, a genius level intellect. He's a brilliant scientist working for the Future Farm Corporation. Helped develop Extremis.
Also, meatless meat.
Yeah. It's not all bad.
Extremis was a techno-organic virus that rewrites the body's genetic code, improving organ functions and granting superhuman abilities such as super strength, electricity projection, and fire breathing. All in an attempt to create a new super soldier.
Mhm.
Yeah, and also apparently just like being really, really hot, which as any middle-aged lady will tell you is no joke.
Yeah, it's not no splashing. So I have to question his intellect if he dies in the same issue.
Well,
He was sleeping.
Dr. Killian committed suicide after selling a sample of the Extremis serum to a terrorist organization.
Twist.
But not before he killed Dr. Maya Hansen, co-developer of the Extremis serum. She had a change of heart and turned on him, and so he killed her. And yes, Dr. Maya Hansen is another character from this movie and comic.
Yes, indeed. So I think this is probably as good a time as any to bring it up. So originally, they were Shane Black wanted Maya Hansen to be the main villain,
That would have been cool.
but
Avi.
Hasbro said no. We can't make girls into toys that boys want to see.
Wow.
So they rewrote the movie
Ironically.
to be Aldrich Killian.
And then there's like kids on a playground. Like, I have my Guy Pearce doll.
No, ironically, they didn't even make an action figure of him. They only made the Mandarin.
That's cold.
Wow.
Bro.
What did we call that for Batman Forever? It was Toyrific or Toyable?
Oh, toyetic.
Toyetic. That's right.
Toyetic.
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro. That's a bro who used to be famous.
Two more characters from the comics. Characters of Ellen Brandt and Eric Savin, both loosely based on Marvel characters. Ellen Brandt was a supporting character in Marvel's Man Thing. She was the hot woman with the good haircut.
Wasn't really that good of a haircut. That kind of confused me. I was like, it's not that special of a haircut.
While Eric Savin was a cyborg mercenary known as Cold Blood 7.
Which fits his character because he is like a fully functioning, like one-man goon, like team.
Mm-hmm.
He flies a helicopter, the plane.
Wastes coffee.
Yeah,
True.
He's like
coffee, though.
He's like a single mom.
Hey, better late than never.
Hey.
Cold Blood is not a genius, though.
No.
Maybe tactical.
That's all I
He's
got.
more of a left brainer.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Weber, for that character and comic background. Brings us to the production of the film itself. So Iron Man 3 began production almost immediately after Iron Man 2, or at least pre-production. As early as October 2010, Jon Favreau announced he would not be back for Iron Man 3. He does, however, appear in this, so there was apparently no hard feelings. He just didn't want to do the third one for whatever reason, as far as directing goes.
Directing goes. Okay.
Yeah, as far as directing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he
He
came
had
back to
other
be in it.
projects at the time.
He did.
Right?
He did.
He did Lion King and Jungle Book, and
he was doing those. He was, I think, at this time was in the middle of making
Chef?
Cowboys
maybe?
and Alien.
Oh.
Cowboys and Aliens, which is it's all right. I don't know. It should have been better.
Cowboys, got aliens.
Yeah, no.
Could
And
not be great.
you have Harrison Ford and James Bond. You have Indiana Jones and James Bond in it. It's Cowboys and Aliens, and it was still kind of boring. I don't know. It was all right. It was disappointing because conceptually it should have been way better. Anyway, so they brought in Shane Black, Robert Downey Jr. Apparently, basically told Marvel, "Hey, hire Shane Black," because they were friends.
Homies.
Yeah, they were. Because Shane Black hired Robert Downey Jr. when nobody would hire Robert Downey Jr. in the midst of his being
addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was recovered by that point, but it was also, he had already been blacklisted due to the addiction.
Was that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
That was Kiss Kiss
Mhm.
Bang Bang.
Yeah.
And speaking of Gosling, like we did earlier, the Nice Guys, is that what it is? Anyways, it's a
Oh.
good one. Russell Crowe and Gosling.
So Shane Black has a long and storied career in Hollywood. He got his start in the mid 80s, mostly as a writer. He wrote Lethal Weapon.
Mhm.
That was kind of his entry point.
He wrote like all 4, right?
Didn't he? Yeah.
I believe so. Let me see.
I love those. He can
I
write.
think he
action
directed
movie.
4 too.
He wrote no, he only wrote the first 2.
Oh,
2 is my favorite when they introduced Joe Pesci
That's a
Yeah.
good one. Yeah.
and the South African villains.
These are his first. God. Okay. So listen. All right. So these are his writing credits. Lethal Weapon, The Monster Squad, Lethal Weapon 2, The Last Boy Scout, Last Action Hero, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Those are all hits.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was his first directorial outing.
I heard that he was in a duel with David S. Goyer and won.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's like finally they let somebody else come up with something.
Right. So yeah, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Anyone who hasn't seen that, go see that. That is a great movie. After Iron Man 3, he did The Nice Guys and The Predator.
that's right. Forgot he did The Predator.
He was an actor in the original Predator.
Oh, he's one of the special ops guys, right?
Rick
he was
Hawkins. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also in Night of the Creeps. Yeah. Oh, and As Good as It Gets. Interesting.
Hunt for Red October and RoboCop 3.
Which both of those? So he has uncredited rewriting on Predator, Dead Heat, The Hunt for Red October, and RoboCop 3.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
He script doctored all of those. So
Holy shit.
yeah.
And acted in some of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So Shane
That's
Black
crazy.
has got the bona fides, the action movie bona fides for sure. He wrote this himself along with the help of Drew Pearce. Drew Pearce, who got his start writing. He was a showrunner for a movie called No Heroics, which was a British superhero comedy TV show, a sitcom. But then he moved into doing film. This was his first film credit. After Iron Man 3, he went on to do Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, The Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. That's actually called Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, it's in the universe.
Just like,
Present.
yeah.
Like
Like it's a guy in a
Spielberg
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You present.
Fast and Furious, Mr. Furious. He wrote and directed something called Hotel Artemis, which has Jeff Goldblum and Jodie Foster in it. Wow,
It was the premise to that is pretty good, but the movie was but it's like this hospital that only patches up criminals, because they can't go to
Oh.
regular hospitals.
Hmm.
It was an interesting idea.
So yeah, that is our production there. Music, I don't mention the music as often as I should, was by Brian Tyler, who did all of the Expendables, Transformers. He went on to do Age of Ultron. Now You See Me. That was the magician movie I was trying to think of.
Mhm.
And the Fast and Furious. So, there's like four dudes that write the music for like every big budget Hollywood movie ever at this point. This movie stars once again Robert Downey Jr. back as Tony Stark. This is our fifth if you count the after credits sequence of Hulk movie with Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. we've got
He finds a way to tell you who he is in every movie.
He really does. We got Gwyneth Paltrow back as Pepper Potts, Don Cheadle back as James Rhodey Rhodes, Guy Pearce as Aldrich Killian. Guy Pearce got his breakout role in Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, back in 1994. L.A. Confidential. Memento. He was pretty good in Memento.
A lot of tattoos.
A lot of tattoos. Yeah. So he'd go on to be in The Hurt Locker, Prometheus. He's Guy Pearce. I think everyone knows who he is at this point. Additionally, joining the cast this time around, we have Rebecca Hall as Maya Hansen. Rebecca Hall is the daughter of famed stage producer Peter Hall, which I'm sure we're all familiar with Peter Hall's King Lear from the West End.
I celebrate his entire catalog.
Yes. She was also in The Prestige, Vicky Cristina Barcelona, Frost Nixon, Dorian Gray. She works a lot. This is the only superhero movie we will see her in, at least.
She wasn't a kaiju movie, Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes, that just came out this year. And that terrible movie called Teen Spirit about a teen pop star, which I'm sure Kurt Cobain would be absolutely loving that it was named after his song.
Yeah, what does it smell like?
It's
like other Teen Spirit, I guess.
I mean, it's kind of flowery.
It was a deodorant first. It's where he got the name.
That's where he got the name. No. And as I remember correctly, I think
Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill, right? Bikini Kill? Well,
yeah,
anyways,
like
Kathleen Hanna from Late
wrote Kurt Smells Like Teen Spirit on a wall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he didn't know about the deodorant, so he thought it was just like some poetic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So additionally, we've got Ty Simpkins as Harley. That's the kid. We'll see him again in Endgame. He was also in Jurassic World and in the Insidious, first two Insidiouses, at least. Jon Favreau is back as Happy Hogan. And let's see, we've got joining our cast here. James Badge Dale as Eric Savin, Stephanie Sostak as Ellen Brandt. That's the haircut lady.
What's his name? James Badge Dale. I looked him up. He was in the Lord of the Flies movie back in the 90s.
Oh, was he
one of the boys?
Kids? Wow.
Yeah. One of the boys.
And Sir Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery, aka the Mandarin. Ben Kingsley, of course, won an Oscar playing Gandhi in 1982. He played Itzhak Stern in Schindler's List. Oh my God, I forgot Schindler's List. Sexy Beast was an amazing movie. House of Sand of Fog, Shutter Island. And of course, he plays the spooky guy in Spooky House.
He didn't win an Oscar for this. He played two roles.
I didn't unmute. Like for which he got another Oscar.
Yeah. No, yeah, he did. He did play two roles, didn't he? I loved his fake American accent that he was doing. That was like super exaggerated. Yeah. British people do American accents. It's actually pretty close to Benedict Cumberbatch's accent in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he struggles
Oh, does he
with the
ever?
American
That
accent.
round kind of I'm doing
Well,
an
and
American accent.
Peter Parker can't say the word Spider-Man.
No, he can't.
It's,
Oh, Brits.
yeah,
So
stealing American jobs.
I know. We love to hire him.
becoming American Spider-Man.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm proud to be a Spider-Man.
Because at least I know I'm free.
That's pretty much our cast there. There's not a lot to say about this movie. It was the first Phase 2 MCU film.
I didn't take notes. It's like one of 3 that I ever didn't. I didn't need to, I felt.
Yeah. It's it was kind of inevitable. Like, obviously they were going to make Iron Man 3. It was turned out better than I think it needed to at that point. But also not without its flaws. But it has 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. I didn't get any funny reviews for this one. But yeah, that's about it. Which brings us to the film itself. Guys, are you all ready to jump into Iron Man 3?
That depends. What kind of perk package are you thinking of?
No.
Al's on fire today.
So here we go, everybody. This is Iron Man 3. We open with a voiceover and Eiffel 65. Which means it must be 1999. New Year's Eve, Bern, Switzerland. Tony's trying to get a girl up to his room. But in the elevator, he's approached by Aldrich Killian, a scientist who has started a company called Advanced Idea Mechanics, AIM. So we didn't really touch on AIM in the comic background, but it's a pretty big part of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, sorry. I slacked.
That's okay. Right. So did anybody else feel like they were trying to nod at MODOK a little bit with Guy Pearce and his disability in the beginning?
Maybe.
I hadn't thought of it.
Yeah, his
his
essentially
head was enormous. Did I miss that?
His head was normal size, but smart guy, and he's also, but his body is not great.
We did see inside his brain, which was big.
Yes, he had the big brain. I feel like there were winks.
Okay, it's so hilarious that you said big brain, because I was waiting to point out that Happy looks exactly like John Travolta from Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Look at the big brain on Brad.
Yeah, same exact outfit and mullet.
Follow the mullet.
Yeah,
absolutely. Aldrich Killian has started AIM. He's not great at picking up social cues. So Tony tells him he's going to meet him on the roof while he and Maya, who is the woman he's trying to pick up, head back to her place.
That was such a dick move, man.
It was.
Not only did he brush him off, but then he missed New Year's. You know what I mean? He was on the roof and it was like, Happy New Year.
It's a dick move, but isn't it enough of a dick move to become a terrorist and try to murder the person who stood you up?
Absolutely not. You took a sharp left there.
Yeah, well, so did Aldrich Killian.
No, all right.
Because as far as I can tell, that's his entire motivation for hating Tony.
I can't think of any ghosting that's worth becoming a terrorist. So
no,
you're right.
But Aldrich Killian definitely thought it was.
He should be in a movie.
Yeah. So let's see. Tony and Maya head back to her room. They finally ditch Happy, look at her research, which makes plants grow back their stems and sometimes explode.
Hey, wait. That's not what caused him to become a terrorist. That's what caused him to hate Tony. That
was the only motivation he gave us. I guess I don't know what caused him to become a terrorist then, but that was the one and only
the hunger for power. Like he used to be pushed around, like you just said,
All right. Yeah, but I mean, still, he's trying to murder Tony over getting stood up.
Fair enough.
I mean, the terrorism aside,
He's an
I've been stood up
incel
before.
terrorist.
I've tried to murder nobody.
That was my point earlier.
All
right.
So, yeah, Tony and Maya make tender love at this point, while Aldrich waits on the roof alone. In the morning, Tony leaves without saying goodbye to Maya. He just leaves her a card,
with
Then-
formula on the back.
which
Yeah.
we don't know at this point. Cut to the present of 2013. Tony is creating his 42nd suit, which can be remotely activated to come to him.
Mark 42.
Mark 42.
Was this a
Um,
nod to Hitchhikers or a nod to Jackie Robinson?
Both.
Maybe a little of both.
I love the way that his technology progressed through all of these movies. It was just a really nice detail that they always. I know
Yeah.
it came with their own technology, CGI and shit like that, but it was fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He's not far from nanotech now. You know what I mean? He can remotely control it. He's getting closer to that.
Yeah, he is getting
Yeah.
closer and closer. Yeah, it does have some kinks to work out still. Like accidentally becoming remotely activated when he's asleep and attacking his girlfriend in bed.
Yeah, creepy.
Maybe that's his fetish.
I think
maybe that's
we
her
kind of
fetish.
It's definitely his. He does it to her later,
Well,
or maybe it's
I-
right before this. But she thinks
Mm.
she's talking to Tony.
And he's
She-
downstairs, yeah.
She comments like your robot or your suits are now in the living room, but he's also taking them into the bedroom.
Yeah. Well,
He's
yeah,
a weirdo. Tony's a weirdo.
he is. And we discover at this point that he's not sleeping. He hasn't slept in 72
We
hours.
also discover it's a Christmas.
It is.
Christmas
Yes,
time.
it's a Christmas movie. It's
Yeah.
Christmas time.
July.
Tony watches some TV. He sees a broadcast from a terrorist named the Mandarin. Mandarin has been attacking targets all over the world. Then we discover that War Machine, Rhodey, is now working for the government as the Iron Patriot. We didn't mention the Iron Patriot either. That is actually the Iron Patriot armor was created by Norman Osborn in the comics originally.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So created
Yes.
by Norman Osborn, then later taken over by Rhodey for good rather than the evil.
Right. That
Norman
was around
shooting
when
for.
Norman
when he
he
was
ran for mayor, or he
no, he became like Secretary of Defense or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he took that
pretended to
over
be a
from
good
Tony
guy.
Stark, and he started the Dark Avengers.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, he's the Iron Patriot.
And the dude from Shawshank Redemption's the president.
Oh, that's right, that
He did a
guy.
good job,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot to mention him in the production, but yeah. So I'd like to point out that in Iron Man 1, Obama was president, and that took place in 2008, or maybe it was Iron Man 2. Obama was president in an earlier Iron Man film. So at some point, Obama resigned, and President Ellis, in this reality, was his vice president and took over Obama's term.
You should have just called Morgan Freeman. He's a great president.
Yeah, no, always. He's very calming. Rhodey tells Tony they're having trouble finding the Mandarin. All of the explosions have no bomb casings left behind. Rhodey tells him additionally that he's concerned about his mental health. Tony has an anxiety attack after a kid asks him how he got out of the wormhole.
Yeah. He's out of Joe's Crab Shack or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I've had to crawl out of many a wormhole. It's not pretty.
It's
Yeah.
so when you do too much ketamine.
Tony gets in his suit and flies away. Oh, we also discover that AIM was the one that helped do the transition from War Machine to Iron Patriot. I'm sure that'll be fine. At Stark Industries, Happy Hogan is head of security now. Pepper Potts meets up with Aldrich Killian, who's no longer disabled. He pitches his invention to her. It's a process called Extremis.
However, his pants are still too short.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, he has very short pants.
And he does not wear socks with his dress
He's
shoes.
showing a lot of ankle.
Those feet
Yeah,
are
yeah.
freaking
Well,
stinking.
I mean, Guy Pierce ankle. You got it.
Yeah.
You got to get the ladies in there somehow.
Somehow. The boy in short pants.
Extremis can quote hack a human's genetic code and rewrite it. A phrase which, while gibberish, does explain how the limbs grow back and heal and people get super hot.
And breathe fire.
And breathe fire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple hack of your genetics.
Yeah, we're just hacking the genetic code and rewriting your operating system.
It's just a simple trick.
It makes as much sense as nanotech or anything else.
Yeah, of
anything
course.
else ever in a film.
Of course. I didn't
yeah.
think twice.
No, it's totally fine. Oh, that's how we do it. It's good. So Pepper Potts says she's not going to go into business with him, telling him she's afraid of its weaponization potential. Meanwhile, Happy is suspicious.
And I want to point out that the CEO or the president, whatever official title is, has a sweet ground floor office.
Yeah, it is on the ground floor, isn't
Maybe
it?
she's afraid of heights.
Yeah, so Happy is suspicious of Aldrich's bodyguard dude that comes with him.
That would be too.
Yeah, that's what's his name?
Badge.
Savin. Eric Savin.
Yeah. He calls Tony, or no, Tony calls him. He FaceTimes him, and he tells Tony what's going on.
No, he called Tony.
I thought Tony called him.
No.
No, because he called him and he was like, "What? I'm busy, Tony."
And
he was like, "I don't work for you
him.
anymore. I had to get a real job." Like, I thought Tony called him.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
No, yeah, Thoreau's right. Because
I think this is funny that this is the point that we're getting stuck on.
Well, a lot of this movie's fun.
Yeah.
It moves on a sensible track. All right.
But
But that's a great joke about the, flip the. I don't know how to flip it.
yeah, I'm not a tech genius.
Yeah. It's like a mom. Well, or a
Yeah.
dad.
Oh my
But,
God.
yeah.
Turn it around.
Just turn it around.
Yeah.
Physically turn
I
it
don't know
around.
how to flip it.
Physically flip the screen.
I love when I video call with my mom and all I see is like chin and the inside of the nose. Anyways, so he tells Tony what's going on, and then Happy decides he's going to follow Savin when he and Aldrich leave. Pepper goes home, finds a big bear, which rabbit. I'm sorry, a big
like the
rabbit.
Velveteen
Did anyone
Rabbit.
else feel like the paws looked like not paws?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they look like human breasts.
Yes, they did. Pendulous, swinging.
They
human
looked
breath.
like inhuman breasts.
Yes.
I
I've
had
clearly
to do
never
it
seen a boob
Call
before.
breasts. Like a goat or yeah.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was
Look at
not a
that
good looking
goat's
rabbit.
breasts.
It had some what was that Disney movie with the animal
Zootopia?
people? Yeah, it had some Zootopia vibes going on. the furries.
You're
Yeah.
strangely attracted to this plush rabbit.
Right.
I totally wish the Mandarin had come out of it. That's how he got himself at Tony's house.
I've been inside your house the whole time.
I
It
was
was a
inside the
custom-
boob rabbit.
He said it was a custom job. What a miserable gig.
So all right, Pepper gets mad because Tony is spending too much time with his toys. Meanwhile, in front of the Chinese theater, is it Mann's or Grauman's at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, it has been sold, but yeah, Grumman's.
Aldrich's bodyguard delivers a briefcase to a veteran who's a little bit nervous. While Happy has a run-in with him. Then the veteran, it turns out that it's some sort of like inhaler drug inside the briefcase. He takes it and he explodes. We get another video from the Mandarin in which he takes credit for the attack. Happy's put in the hospital, and Tony, now angry about Happy, challenges the Mandarin and gives out his address on television, which is
stupid.
never a good move.
I don't have an arch enemy, but I wouldn't do that.
I just don't
Yeah.
understand why he have sentry mode.
Do I
We've
have
seen
an
it.
arch enemy?
Yeah.
How are they not? How is not one of them on sentry mode?
Yes.
That's a good point.
That was one of my biggest unanswered questions is why was Tony's house, which was, quote, on lockdown, so vulnerable to attack at this point?
Yeah. Where did Jarvis go when the missiles fell?
Right? Jarvis didn't say
Yeah.
a word. Maya
Maya's
saw
the
it on
one.
TV.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That
I
was-
also have a question of like if these suits not only are can be remotely controlled, but with such precision, why does Tony ever fight again himself?
Yes.
I know
that
his
is-
ego, he's got to do it, but yeah,
That's probably fun.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
that's what I mean.
he's got a little bit of that thrill seeker in him too. So there's that, but I imagine. But no, seriously, the house should not have gone down that easy.
no.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It would have been cool to have like some missile defenses or something pop up and
Yeah, or even a shot of like some, the Air Force or the Navy monitoring some equipment. It's like,
Well,
those are two unrecognized Apaches coming in.
that
Right,
was
wicked fast.
my other question. Right before they showed up, he was being heavily monitored by the media. They saw the helicopters coming on TV,
Yeah,
broadcast television,
they're
but
like,
none of these people like got shots of who was flying it, which the government was then like, hey, we
They
can...
accidentally hit Jack Nicholson's house.
Yeah.
It's Malibu. You can't even drive around that town without people being suspect.
Right.
You can just fly in.
But there's media. The media is filming his house constantly. But as soon as
You're right.
that's what I was just saying. The media is filming his house, but they didn't get a single shot of the guy flying the helicopter who works for Killian. Like they didn't I mean, come on. The government should have immediately been like, okay, we recognize this guy. We can follow this helicopter back because he's on TV. Like
Mhm.
the whole attack on Tony's house was like conceptually fine. Like you're going to blow up Tony's house, take out everything. That's fine. But the way it was done left so many unanswered questions.
We forgot to mention, probably the vice president, right? We find out later, but probably not. No, probably not. You're probably right. They just didn't pay attention to that. But we did forget to mention the vice president is played by Miguel Ferrer.
That's right. Yeah, Miguel Ferrer is the VP.
yeah.
All of the professional helicopter cameramen were out that day for professional helicopter cameraman training day.
Yeah,
But-
they weren't there.
They sent in the scrubs.
Oh,
They're
I
already
see. So
talking.
they were just bad.
They're just,
Yeah.
they're just bad at their job.
Temps. They were temps.
Second
Yeah.
stringers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So at home, Tony puts together that there were other explosions that the Mandarin didn't take credit for. Narrows down that the most important one to investigate is in Tennessee. He has Jarvis route a flight plan there. Maya Hansen arrives, tells him he is in danger. Pepper's trying to get him to leave also. That's the point where they're attacked by the 3 helicopters with missiles, piloted by Savin. So in the attack, Tony gets the armor on Pepper, gets her and Maya out of the house. I'd like to point out they're just right next to the house when he takes the armor off her. Like they're not, missiles don't only blow up inside houses. They blow up outside houses too.
Yeah, it should have gone down the cliffside. Or did it? Maybe, I don't know.
It did. No. But I'm saying Pepper and Maya were just standing right next to the house as it was still being shot when Tony deemed them safe.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But he and they don't run anywhere. They just stand there and watch the house, which they're like 10 yards from,
And
go down. The
They know
cliffside.
they're on lockdown. Like, why does Tony only have armor downstairs? Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, you don't have to be in the suit constantly, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, like Brian was saying, we saw Sentry Mode before in other movies.
And in the bedroom.
Yeah, and his house wasn't like it. We had the things that come down over the windows. Like why?
Jarvis.
Yeah.
is
What?
You're right.
integrated into the whole house.
How did Jarvis not see this coming?
Right.
They just flew up in helicopters. They weren't sneaky.
Yeah.
Tony hasn't slept in a while. He
But
forgot.
Jarvis has.
He forgot to turn Jarvis on into sentry mode.
You'd think
don't
that
know.
Pepper would be like,
Button.
Jarvis, give me a rundown on how secure we are. You know?
Yeah. So, anyways, the house. Tony manages to take out a couple helicopters. The third one completely destroys the house, causing it to fall into the ocean. Tony's gets into his armor at this point. He goes down with the house, but Jarvis is able to restore flight power to the suit. Tony passes out as they take to the skies.
He has many subterranean levels on this cliff.
Yes, he
Now
does.
that I think about it, one half is on stilts.
Yeah,
Okay.
yet he has like the underground layer where the armor's kept. Yeah, huh.
And there's a drive out garage. Anyways,
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, well, Tony's house is a little magical. So he wakes up just as he's crashing. We discover that Jarvis took them to Tennessee. To Tennessee. Jarvis loses power completely as they land and the suit falls to pieces. Tony calls up to leave a message for Pepper to let her know he's okay. And carries
beginning a long tradition of him recording dire straight type messages.
Oh,
Like,
God,
I might
yeah.
not be back. Look, bro, I might not be coming back.
No, actually didn't he do one in Avengers too? When he was going up into the hole?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
He does this a lot.
Mhm.
I don't think he did. I think he tried to call her, and the phone was just ringing because she was like watching TV or something.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't leave her a message though. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think he left her a message. But yeah,
He
did
was
try
like,
and
get
call.
some more almond milk.
He's like,
While
oh,
you're at
don't.
Trader
It's
Joe's.
terrible. It's terrible for the environment.
Before I go, a reminder: wear shoes.
Yeah.
She never wears shoes. I don't think she wears shoes once in this movie.
No.
She's a
And I
free
think that's
spirit.
just Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't like
Yeah.
wearing shoes.
She wants to
Probably.
feel connected to the earth
Mhm.
or whatever backlot they're on.
Which is not on Earth. He carries the suit. He finds a nearby house with a garage. He goes into the garage where he's confronted by the resident, a kid named Harley. He has a potato gun. His single mom's at work. His dad is long gone.
He went to a Texaco. Are Texacos even around anymore?
I haven't seen one in years.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think BP bought them, something like that.
Yeah, I think Texaco got rebranded as BP. Yeah.
Mhm.
But which didn't go well because there was wasn't Deepwater Horizon BP,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
like they had to rebrand a bunch of BPs after that. So, anyway,
British
so
Petroleum.
yeah,
I think they just stopped putting company names on boats and oil
Yeah.
rigs.
if they don't know it belongs to us, it doesn't matter. They'll won't know it's our fault.
It doesn't make it to the news of an
Pearl went
18-wheeler
down.
full of gas crashes, but a boat or an oil rig, you're on the news for weeks.
Yeah,
Forever. Yeah.
yeah.
It's not
It
fair.
wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not fair to the fish.
It's just like what do they call those? Like an empty corporation. They're like, oh yeah, it's
a
just
shell.
Oh,
a
a
shell
shell.
yeah,
corporation.
literally a shell corporation. They're like,
Which
yeah,
is
it's
also
Frank's
a petroleum.
gas and tow. I don't know.
That's not us. Yeah.
Roxxon. That's where we get Roxxon in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
Marvel's, shell corporation for BP and
Well, yeah, they
General
wanted
Electric.
they wanted it to sound like an evil an evil energy corporation, so they made it sound as close to Exxon as they could because
Yeah, Roxxon.
Exxon sounds like an evil.
That's been used in other movies. I
Roxxon?
don't have a list in front of me, but Roxxon, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's from
As
the
an organ.
comics.
well, in
Yeah.
the Karate Kid, rocks on, rocks off.
Yeah, Jack Donaghy does that joke about BP. He's like, "You mean when they heroically lubricated the Gulf of Mexico?"
Oh my god.
Roxxon was a major plot point in Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
The series.
Maybe that's where
from a couple years ago.
Well, yeah, Roxxon, Iron Man 2, it was mentioned. Rocksmart, which is a subsidiary of Roxxon, in Loki.
Loki, yeah.
I swear outside of the MCU, I've heard it.
Roxxon was definitely in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a couple of times. And what's it called? The Daredevil.
Daredevil?
It was in that stuff. Yeah, Daredevil.
All of the Defenders stuff.
Yeah, the Defenders. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. Roxxon and AIM are two things that are just hinted at throughout the MCU, but were humongous players in actual comics.
Yeah. I mean, it's Roxxon, Oscorp, AIM, Doom's. What's Doom's company?
Disney?
Yeah.
But yeah, those are like the four big evil corporations. There's a couple of other ones too, but
yeah,
it's fun seeing them get used.
Yeah. So all right, Harley agrees to let him stay. We find out that the world thinks Tony is dead. He gives Harley like a flash bomb thing. It's not really a bomb; it's like a shooter.
Super safe to give a kid a weapon like that.
Absolutely.
Bully repellent.
Which he is then going to use on a small child also.
Yes. Yes. Tony says to use this on children. Go ahead. It's fine.
I wish it was that little French kid from Hancock.
Oh, God. That kid deserved
him.
That was still the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing. He's French. The bully is French.
Recently moved there.
So weird. So, all right. He's going to stay there while he gets his suit working. Meanwhile, Pepper and Maya head to someplace safe. Maya tells Pepper that she works for Aldrich and she thinks he's in league with the Mandarin. We then get confirmation of this as he's seen with the Mandarin during the filming of a video. Back in Tennessee, Tony and Harley visit the spot of the explosion. A veteran blew himself up. Harley brings up the battle in New York, causing Tony to have an anxiety attack. Tony calms himself down, then goes to find the mother of the exploding veteran in a nearby bar. She's there to meet somebody and give them a file that her son had.
That was I need to look her up.
Oh, your son did nothing wrong. He was innocent.
Yeah.
Like, does Tony know that though?
I mean, he suspects, but he doesn't know. The haircut woman, Josh. Is that
now
No, the mom. I think he was.
Oh, the mom. Yeah, she's super in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but always as the either meth addicted or trailer park mom and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just curious if she worked before she looked like this.
Right? Yeah. Did she start looking this way and start getting jobs as white trash lady? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're casting you as.
She's under no illusions that she's going to play anything other than that kind of character, I'm sure.
Are they from Appalachia or Texas? Where?
Her name is Dale Dickey.
Tennessee.
Okay. What's she been in now?
And she was born in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't know any of her most known for, except for Iron Man 3. That's on the top 4.
She's in shows. Movies,
she's in a lot of things. She has 124 credits on IMDb. Just trying to scroll through. Oh, she was in Sons of Anarchy. Clearly Justified.
Justified.
Winter's Bone.
Middle.
Every time.
True Blood. Oh yeah, that's right.
So what did she do as a younger person? Because I'm just assuming she came out of the womb looking like that with a name like Dale Dickey.
Yep, from Tennessee.
She was in The Incredibly True Story of Two Girls in Love. That was a good movie. From the 90s.
She worked.
Oh yeah, she didn't start working until 1995.
Well, 92 she was in Running Wild.
Andrea says she was the meth mom on Breaking Bad.
Yes, remember the two that had the ATM?
Oh, that is where I recognize her most from.
That's what I mean. She just always played these characters.
Okay. Oh,
yeah, the ones who
God.
jacked Jesse.
God, that's
That's
Like
one
a
of the
little
most
kid.
heart-wrenching episodes.
fuck.
It really is, because you can tell
Uh,
Jesse's trying to figure out where to bring this kid.
Right.
2001, an episode of the X-Files. She was a game warden.
Huh.
But yeah, that's still on brand.
Yeah. So, all right.
I'm tired of playing game wardens. I'm tired of it.
I want more of those meth mom roles.
Yeah, give me a break.
2008, she was in Trailer Park of Terror.
Hey, I've been to the Trailer Park of Terror.
Yeah.
Live there today.
I'm pretty sure it's on the south side of Tucson.
Here we go. 19 episodes of My Name is Earl.
Yeah. So, all right. So, yeah, haircut lady comes in. She claims to be with Homeland Security. She cuffs Tony, kills a cop. Tony.
She has a DEA badge.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I don't know if the sheriff noticed that either, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Huh.
That is. Huh.
Yeah. So, either way, she was super suspicious. Like the sheriff was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I believe you."
She forgot which fake badge she was using.
Or whatever government agent she killed to steal it from.
Well, and also I'm pretty sure badges at this point aren't just the badge. It's like an ID with like the badge on the second, like together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not how any of that's supposed to work.
No, because anyone can make a badge.
Right?
I guess anyone could make D too, but whatever.
Everything's made. All right.
Yeah. So Tony manages to get away. She takes.
He jumps through a plate of glass with his face.
Yes, he does.
Which reminds me, the wall of window. Again, the destruction of his house. The wall of windows on his Malibu home are just like not even weather windows.
No,
not double paned, not plexiglass.
Nothing.
Yep.
Well,
They
because
shattered like good old fashioned.
Maya goes through that, like
Yeah.
like she's the one that breaks it. Her body is what breaks the window when her and Pepper fly through it because Pepper couldn't get the repulsor to work.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like way back in the day when they used sugar glass to like break. Yeah.
That's one of those things, like they're like falling into bodies of water, going through glass, like just movie things that would kill a.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Savin's outside. He wastes his coffee. Both times I watched this, that made me laugh because he sees Tony and just tosses his coffee out, but continues to hold the cup. I'm like, what are you doing?
He's like a refills keeper.
He planned to recycle that cup.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't not care about everything.
I'm
I'm not a nihilist, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the Earth's the Earth. It's
I
our
have
only
feeling.
home. Yeah. So yeah, Tony's able to take out haircut lady in an empty cafe. He makes a microwave bomb. He uses her neck heat to melt his handcuffs.
Yeah, that's funny, but cool.
I have a lot of questions about the body heat, but we'll save that body talk for later.
Listen to my body talk. And it was cool that Tony drew her away from the public because he knew she was volatile, like she might explode. He doesn't know how it works. Something else I thought was neat is in the scene where he's down in the basement in the very beginning, he has that like the practice dummy for like practicing hand-to-hand combat.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And it was a subtle little nod because most of this movie is Tony kicking ass.
Yeah.
Not Iron Man.
Yeah.
And so it was even a little setup of like he practices hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah. Tony's not just Iron Man. He's actually good at like physical hand-to-hand combat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate
the biggest
that.
exploration in
Well, and
any of the MCU.
he's clearly working on it too.
Right.
Like he's doing postmortems on battles and things that he's been through and realized, oh, I should be training.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
He's probably like, Steve is not just a super soldier. He was already pretty good at fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be as good as Steve.
Yeah. Oh God, I could totally see that. So let's see. Then Tony, he kills haircut lady at this point. She's up on the telephone wires.
Oh yeah, that was hardcore.
Yeah. Then with the help, Savin takes Harley hostage. Harley, with the help of the flash bomb.
After Seven dropped a water tower on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He dropped
It's
a water.
water.
Yeah.
It's fine. Water's
harmless.
fine.
He's a superhero.
Also,
Not his weakness.
He's melting the water tower thing with his hands. He was real lucky that it fell the way it did. That's beyond his superpowers to control which way gravity's going to make that thing go down.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, but they take out Savin. But after they leave, Savin gets up and heals himself from his wounds.
Well, that's a non-lethal weapon, right? Otherwise, Tony wouldn't have given it to a kid.
No. Well, the kid used the flash bomb to distract him and drop him, and then he repulsor blast him in the face.
That's right.
So he was trying to kill him. But yeah. So then there's another Mandarin broadcast in which he tells the president that the president needs to call him or he's going to shoot a hostage live. President calls, but the Mandarin shoots him anyways. He tells the public that the president is next. I'm gunning for you.
So for our non-American listeners, in case you're unaware, the United States of America, quote unquote, does not negotiate with terrorists.
Yes.
That's
the classic line.
It's on our money.
Yeah, it's literally, it's in our school books.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. If you're caught by terrorists, we'll try to rescue you, but otherwise you're going to die.
Yeah, we'll send more people in, but money,
you're
not worth $1. Yeah, we'll give guns.
We'll trade
ammunition and
we'll sell crack to low-income black families, but we're not going to negotiate with terrorists.
They're like, what about a bake sale? No, bigger.
Yeah. No. Listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to import crack from Manuel Noriega or cocaine. We're going to turn it into crack, and we're going to create an epidemic in South Central Los Angeles. What's so hard to understand about this?
And then we're going to use the proceeds from that to buy weapons. Right. To sell weapons to the Iranians.
To sell them to the Iranians, who are going to use them to fight the Iraqis, who are also going to sell weapons to.
Right.
It's the American way.
Around and sold weapons back to Manuel.
But the takeaway is we do not negotiate with terrorists.
We do not. No, we do not. We are proud to say we do not negotiate.
We do business with terrorists.
Right. Exactly. Making deals.
Yeah. So the president sends Rhodey after the Mandarin. So, all right, this is okay.
What an inspired idea.
This is something I did not even really think about until this point. Tell me anything about MCU Rhodey Rhodes. I'm not talking comics. MCU Rhodey Rhodes. Besides, he's War Machine and he's Tony's good friend.
And he's a colonel.
And he's a colonel. Anything. Does he have a girlfriend?
Or a wife? Yeah.
What city does he live in? Does he have any children?
What's his favorite color?
We know nothing about a character who has been in the MCU since the first movie.
That's a great point. Yeah.
He tries not to drink at work, but drinks at work.
That's something
like
we learned.
One...
I'm hoping most colonels don't try to drink at work.
But you're right. That's very two-dimensional. Just the foil, the devil's advocate for Tony. But he's just two-dimensional.
Yeah, we know nothing about this dude.
They're treating him like he's a woman or something.
Yeah. Basically, they're treating him like Pepper.
A female character.
Yeah.
He is the most blank slate character that they are going to project something onto in the near future. Because
Iron Wars, I assume. Yeah, Armor Wars. We're gonna finally find out something about Colonel Rhodey Rhodes.
I hope that we get him dating Carol Danvers.
Oh,
I really do, because they date in the comics.
I'd be
because
really
they're the same age, but she is like ageless.
Yeah, she's
a superhero.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Space Stone.
But you're right. His like personality is always on display, but we know nothing. Yeah.
About he is the most unexplored main character in the MCU, I think.
Yeah, Rocket got more explanation.
We know more about Vision than we do about Rhodey.
Yeah.
Rhodey has Vision has emotions. Before WandaVision, he had emotions and thoughts and was complex.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, it's a ruse, right? He sends the Patriot.
Oh yeah. So he sends Rhodey for the Mandarin. Tony calls Rhodey. It's discovered that this is the point where we discover AIM did the Iron Patriot upgrade. Tony breaks into a news van. So Rhodey also had one thing we do know about Rhodey is he's really bad at a strong password and does not use two-factor authentication.
Not at all.
Well, and he uses his screen name as his password.
Yes.
I mean,
there's no
special,
there's no special characters. There's no numbers in there. It's all caps. Rhodey, what are you doing?
Yeah, maybe that's why he keeps his personality so like behind the scenes is because he's had his identity stolen.
Yeah, if he knew his mother's maiden name and the school he went to, it's too risky.
This is a point where he accidentally frees some forced like labor people.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable and funny at the same time.
Yeah, it's like you're free if you weren't before. He's so unsure.
I love them laughing at his password.
Yeah.
Tony breaks into a news van, and with the help of Tech Guy, played by what's his
Adam
name?
Pally.
Adam Pally, yes.
Gary.
Happy Ending Brigade, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Happy Endings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was on that set once. Well, Andrea and I were.
That's a good show.
While filming. Oh, yeah,
cool. He hacks into AIM's server and discovers that Extremis is what's being used to make these hot people hot.
Hot or not.
Hillary Swank, hot or not?
That episode, man. Wow.
We should ask me if I would bang her.
He asked me if she was hot.
Nobody gets their ass kicked like in Hollywood like Hillary Swank.
She's not hot. I love Kevin weighing in on that.
My vote is in the hot category, Hillary Swank. Don't worry. I got your back.
Somebody needs to. Yeah, she gets her ass kicked so much.
She's a very active listener to the show. In case you were
Hillary, thank you. Hillary is a patron,
friend of the show. Hillary Swank.
We love you.
Yeah. So all right. It also makes limbs grow back. So Tony assumes that Aldrich sold this tech to the Mandarin. Meanwhile, at a hotel, Maya and Pepper are holed up. They're having some girl talk. Does this
in a pillow fight?
Did they talk about something that wasn't Tony? I feel like maybe in there they slipped some stuff in.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, they have a number of conversations throughout.
They talked about her research. They did discuss her research and talked about what's his face from the Nazis.
Yeah,
Von Braun.
Yeah,
that's right. Landing on the wrong country. That's a great, or landing on the wrong planet. That's a great quote.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, Bechdel test. Good for you, Iron Man 3.
Shane Black.
Yeah. So then Aldrich shows up. We discover that Maya has been working with him, and they kidnap Pepper. Then in the Middle East, this is the point where Rhodey gets taken prisoner inside his armor. Back in Tennessee, Jarvis comes back online, tells Tony that they traced the Mandarin to Miami.
Woo!
Going back to Miami.
Yeah.
I think it was Pitbull all along.
Yeah, just a fun girls' weekend in Miami.
The suit is charging too slowly to be of use, so Tony has another anxiety attack, but Harley talks him down by reminding him he's a mechanic and can just build stuff.
Just build something.
And
It's
Tony's
how
like,
you became Iron Man. It's how you saved your life.
I really liked how this is played. I really liked Tony's take on it. I liked the sudden switch. Like, it is funny that PTSD can be cured by reminding you that you can build stuff, but it was played really well.
Not to go too deep into it, the way that I interpreted this, I love this movie for this reason, because the arc of the PTSD thing is Tony doesn't have control over his physical reaction to his experience, to his PTSD, but him regaining control over the situation, like, building things. I can do something.
When he concentrates on something, he's not anxious.
That's
giving him some form of control. And that's the thing with people who experience trauma. It's like, you don't have control. You are now reliving your traumatic experience. Having something to control may take some of that edge off.
Yeah, no, and absolutely. It's Tony taking control back. Absolutely.
It's well crafted.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know, that
it's
mantra.
like the suit isn't Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
Right. And I must admit, for being such a tired trope, it was a good use of a kid.
Yeah. This was one of the best kids in a movie I've in a long time.
Yeah, and Tony's such an asshole to him in such a fun way, where it's like, Jesus, man, you're such a dick to this kid.
Right, but what's great then is that the kid gives it back to him. The whole,
like,
you're emotionally manipulating me, and he's like addicted to him. And he drives away, and you almost feel bad for the kid. And then the kid goes like, "Oh, it's worth a try."
Yeah, amazing.
I forgot.
The kid had agency in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, he was a well-rounded character. When he's in the Joe's Crab Shack and the two kids come up for the autograph, he says to the one kid, "I loved you in A Christmas Story."
Yeah.
So the real Ralphie, Peter Billingsley, he's a business partner and producer of Jon Favreau. They're tight, and they've even been in each other's movies and stuff.
He cameoed in the first Iron Man.
He did.
Well, didn't he come back in Far From Home?
He did.
Yeah.
He was one of Mysterio's dudes.
That's right.
One of the
he was a disgruntled
made the shit
Dark
work.
Tech guy.
Yeah.
Cool.
So all right. So at this point, Tony goes to Home Depot, builds a bunch of stuff, and heads to Miami. He takes with him his homemade weapons and breaks into the Mandarin's compound, takes out a bunch of guards, and discovers a couple of girls in the Mandarin's bedroom. Mandarin comes out of the bathroom. He is not very
evil.
He really should be like double flushing, and he did not wash his hand. It was flush, door open. Like, dude,
Trevor don't care.
Trevor, dude, you got some people over. Wash your hands.
Tony's trip to Home Depot basically just came off as a serial killer's trip to Home Depot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
These
reminded
are
me
random suspicious items.
Walter White at the end of Breaking Bad, buying the garage door opener and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
What are you making?
Or in one of the early episodes when he sent Jesse, and then it was like Skinny Pete and what's his name?
That's right. But is this our first MCU hero disguise? That's the hoodie, sunglasses, and baseball cap.
Oh,
is this our first time? Because it's going to come back again and again.
It comes back in every movie after this for sure.
That is it's funny. Jude and I were talking about this because he was like, but isn't that also how celebrities try to dress when they're trying to avoid the paparazzi? And I was like, you're right.
Hoodie and a ball cap.
I think it may be because of all the movies they're in. That's how they dress in disguise. So they think that's just how you're supposed to look.
Well, it's also known as the Unabomber.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, we get the twist of the movie. The Mandarin is not real. He's Trevor Slattery.
He's an actor.
Friends we made along the way.
the real Mandarin is Hong Kong Fooey.
Oh.
Yeah, we found that this Mandarin is chicken.
So.
Yeah, you got it.
So Trevor's an actor who was hired by AIM to play the part of a super terrorist. Ben,
And I liked this point. He said that he needed someone to take credit for some accidental explosions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So there were just like his research was going weird, and okay, what do? We invent a terrorist, or we don't invent a terrorist. We borrow the identity of a known terrorist.
Good point.
Well, no. The Mandarin didn't exist. They did invent him. They invented
him.
In this film. They definitely invented him.
Okay. And they also use him to throw off, the Patriot and Iron Man. You know what I mean? Send him to locations he's not really. It's a good use of media and villainy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's the only possible way that in 2013 they could have included the Mandarin, given the extremely racist caricature he was in the comics.
And the name, even the name is a little, but you're right. It was a character.
Yeah, and they didn't hire an Asian actor, which is good.
Yeah.
And they made him he's cross-cultural. He's looks slightly Middle Eastern, looks slightly far Eastern.
Sounds like a Baptist preacher.
Sounds like a Baptist preacher, absolutely. So they made it as unracist as you possibly could, given the history.
Trevor spills the beans, and he's all
Trevor tells him everything. But this is a really controversial thing in the MCU. This take of the Mandarin. I'm fine with it personally.
Yeah,
I had no problem. I have no problem with the Mandarin being Trevor. I have no problem with this.
It made it make sense.
I love it. It's one of my favorite decisions.
Yeah.
You would have to have an unnecessary battle that would muddle things up.
Right.
Or you know what I mean?
Or if the Mandarin had actually just been the Mandarin, even if it was Ben Kingsley as this character and he wasn't Trevor, he was just the Mandarin. I mean, even that would just kind of been boring.
Yeah.
Right. He would have to deal with him and then Aldrich.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So Savin arrives. Tony is taken prisoner and handcuffed to a bed frame.
Like Rambo. They didn't have anything more.
Yeah.
modern.
Well, yeah. No, this is what really reminded me it was a Shane Black movie. I could totally see Mel Gibson in a Lethal Weapon movie, tied up like that.
Yep. Yeah. Being tortured and laughing.
Yeah. So Maya shows up. She tells him she needs his help to make Extremis stable. She reveals that Tony left a formula on the card in 1999 that he left behind. He does not remember it.
It was a memento of sorts.
Yes. Aldrich shows up, tells him that when he was stood up on New Year's Eve, he was going to kill himself, but then instead decided to be a secret evil scientist instead of a public evil scientist.
Yeah. Once again, like Robert Vaughn in Superman, it's just just stay on the path you're on.
Yeah.
You'll do fine. You know what I mean? If your experiments eventually work, you're set. You're good.
Yeah. You don't have to be evil. You really don't.
You don't.
You're gonna be okay.
It's a good scheme. Ask Steve Jobs. You don't have to be evil. Yeah. Or do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Do we know Steve Jobs wasn't a secret evil?
Yeah. Every time my iPhone overheats, I think that.
Aldrich reveals that Pepper is his prisoner and has been given the Extremis treatment. He's threatening to kill Tony if Tony doesn't join him. And then Maya has a change of heart and tries to save Tony. So Aldrich just shoots her. Then he goes into the next room where Rhodey is and gives Rhodey the old heat hands on the torso.
I don't understand
Mr. Miyagi.
why he just shot her. Also, that's
It's a Shane Black thing too. I think
it's an unceremonious way to kill somebody. I guess
it is, and it's also we don't have a place for you in the third act.
Well, I just.
But it's like you have no leverage.
He could have fire breathed her or lit her on fire. Or
yeah.
It was one of those just like, oh, you think that's leverage? You think I care?
Yeah. It's like I'm just discarding you. Like I think so little of you. I'm just going to shoot you.
And I'm not weak like you, Tony. Like just some chick's not going to stop me from doing XYZ.
Yeah. Then meanwhile, the Mark 42s finished charging. I loved the goons. I loved the goons in this scene.
Oh yeah. The one with the long hair played a lot of goons in the 80s.
Mm. Yeah, so it flies to Tony. He kills the goons guarding him. He gets outside just in time to see Aldrich flying away in a helicopter and Savin flying away in the Iron Patriot armor. Tony discovers
kind of a Thor move, just holding his hand out, waiting for the armor to arrive.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it's coming, but
yeah. Tony discovers the Mark 42 isn't quite in flying shape yet. Rhodey escapes his captors. They get together and discover from Trevor the location that Pepper is at and where Aldrich is going. They're on a boat.
A motherfucking boat?
A motherfucking boat. Tony calls the vice president and tells him that the Iron Patriot is a Trojan horse. But we discover the VP is not going to help. And in fact, he has a granddaughter, some sort of child relative with only one leg. And thus, he's decided to depose the president and support a terrorist organization in order. Okay.
They're like, what about wounded warriors, Mr. Vice President? No.
He's like,
my granddaughter.
No. Yeah. After the last 5 years, it's more realistic than ever.
Yeah, that's true. It did come out of nowhere. I felt it was one little plot point in this movie where it's like, huh?
Oh, that was really like, the vice president's evil? That's weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Savin arrives at Air Force One in the Iron Patriot suit and boards the plane. He takes the president hostage and disables the plane. Tony shows up and fights Savin, finally killing him. He does a daring mid-air rescue of a bunch of people falling to their death.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Get off my plane. Yeah, the Olympics, holding of hands.
Yeah.
The
terrible, but it was
barrel of monkeys was what he called it.
Yeah.
A game I've never understood how to play.
There's monkeys and they're in a barrel. There's not a lot more to it.
I thought this was a relatively clever use of the Iron Man suit, though, to solve the problem. Electrify the surface of their skin so they get real grippy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Can't carry everybody. It was clever. It was a clever use.
It was an interesting set piece for sure. So then Tony, it's revealed the Mark II gets hit by a truck. It's revealed that Tony was flying it remotely. And then he has Jarvis remotely fly all 41 of his other suits to Miami from the rubble of his house.
Miami. Just every time. I don't know. I think they're going down for a party.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. The president arrives at Aldrich's ship. He's in the Iron Patriot suit. Aldrich reveals that he's working with the vice president. He's going to kill the president on TV under the cover of the Mandarin doing it. And the reason the Mandarin is doing it is because there was an oil spill that the president helped the executives not face justice for. So oil spill. That's
so
there isn't.
I looked up the flights for LA to Fort Lauderdale because you can't fly Malibu to Miami. That's a 5-hour flight in a commercial jet.
Okay.
Yep.
How fast does the Iron Man suit go?
Well, to be fair, he called them during the day and they got there at night.
That's fair.
They had a layover in Fort Worth.
Yeah, they had to land in Dallas.
They had to take a bus.
Everyone, no matter where you're going, you have to land in Dallas for a while.
Yeah, no matter. To be like, I'm flying from LA to San Francisco, but I have a layover in Dallas.
Right. Going from New York to Detroit.
Yeah. I'm going from London to Paris with a layover in Dallas. So
of not note, he called it the house party protocol.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which would have been useful when his house was under attack.
Yeah. I would have had him just floating all around.
Like that house attack. That's like the weakest link in this entire movie. I feel like that, and the ending is.
I would have loved to have a moment of like, Jarvis, what the hell happened?
Yeah, something.
Like, dude, you had me running math. That's all I was doing. I'm not artificial intelligence. I'm just a computer.
That's a plot hole because he was
This is
silent
your
through
fault.
that whole scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's like, "Oh damn, that was fucked up."
It's like, shit, I didn't see that coming. Wait, I invited the Mandarin to attack me, and then I'm completely unready to be attacked by the Mandarin.
Yeah, and this thing that monitors even my blood pressure
is not.
I have no idea.
Is not going to warn me at all that 3 helicopters with missiles are coming in.
It would have been really funny to have Jarvis say something along the lines of like, "I saw you invite him to the house, so I figured you wanted him to come."
It was cool. I
Like,
thought
oh,
it was
sorry.
like party tomahawk missiles.
They could have explained it away some party
filled with cocaine.
Yeah. Pinata.
A cocaine pinata. It just flies everywhere like flour. Oh God, yeah. Somebody's
been done.
Somebody's done that.
That'd be awesome.
So all right. So Tony and Rhodey arrive. They see the president in the Iron Patriot armor. He's going to get exploded. So they sneak onto the boat. They get surrounded by goons. Tony's suits all arrive, piloted by Jarvis. They start taking out the extremist-powered goons. Rhodey goes to rescue the president. Tony gets in a suit, goes to rescue Pepper. Aldrich shows up, uses his extremist powers to destroy Tony's suit. Pepper falls into a fire, and Tony assumes she's dead.
So he has names. He has like pet names for all the different suits.
Yeah.
I only caught 3. There was Igor, Heartbreaker, and Red Snapper.
I remember the marketing for this movie. They had a ton of names. There's all kinds of
Kevin.
Yeah.
Just
had a specific name. Yeah. Herschel.
Yeah. Well, he's an insomniac, you know.
Yeah. They fridge Pepper. Rhodey rescues the president. Tony gets into another suit. He fights Aldrich, who destroys that suit. Then Tony causes Mark 42 to blow up and injure Aldrich. But Aldrich is still kicking. He's about to kill Tony when Pepper arrives. She's not dead. And she uses her extremist powers to kill Aldrich. Tony blows up the rest of his suits. And the day is saved. In a montage, we get the most unrealistic thing where a sitting vice president actually has to face the consequences of his actions.
Yeah.
Jumping back a little bit, I loved Pepper's line after she takes out Killian. She says, "Oh my God, that was really violent."
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's
Who's
like,
the hot mess now?
Yeah. I see why you don't want to get rid of the suits. What am I going to complain about now? Yeah.
Now I understand. You literally saved the world from an alien invasion only because you were Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know, the only one who could do it. But like now I see.
Mm-hmm.
It took Guy Pearce.
Everybody
my eyes.
is underplaying Tony's sacrifice throughout this entire movie.
Yes, you're right. They're acting like he got in a car accident or something.
Like, we know.
Dramatic, but not.
Yeah. No, he was sacrificing. He was sacrificing himself by grabbing a nuclear missile and flying it through a wormhole to the other side of the galaxy to blow up an alien spaceship.
There would be
not
like
even Thor could do
messianic
that.
cults formed around this sacrifice,
Right.
like for
Right.
real. If
And
somebody
everybody's
actually
like,
did
why are
this,
you so nervous, Tony?
Yeah.
like
Also, this happens in so many movies, especially superhero movies, and it's so frustrating. For everyone else who did the extremist thing, it was almost like a death sentence. You know what I mean? Like you were going to be addicted to this stuff, or you're going to eventually blow up. But Pepper just gets better. Like it was such a simple little process that they did.
Yeah, well,
'cause
I mean,
it only takes Tony 15 minutes to solve any problem.
Any
he puts his
problem.
mind to.
yeah.
And he was shown the formula on the back of the card for 5 seconds, so he just memorized it.
I'm not saying
real
they didn't explain it, but that happens so often.
Yeah, it's super
Something
easy.
that's a
'cause he's
problem for
Tony.
the whole movie, but then the heroes,
Yeah, it's
they
super
just
easy.
shake it off. All right.
Yeah. So, all right. He gets the extremis removed from Pepper. Trevor's arrested. He decides to have the shrapnel removed from his chest, which seems like a fairly simple procedure.
Yeah, never did before.
Yeah, even in Iron Man 2, when it was going to kill him, he had, rather than going in for a simple procedure, he decided to invent a new element.
How's it even
And
a procedure?
almost
Just put a magnet over that thing. I know it is an electromagnet, but turn that off real quick and then just suck that.
Yeah, but like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just makes Iron Man 2 look even worse with like how simple it was to take the shrapnel out.
You're right.
Yeah, Happy wakes up from his coma in time for the new episode of Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Harley gets a bunch of cool science stuff, and Tony declares in voiceover once again that he is Iron Man.
Were we the Harley thing? I just we'll linger on him for just a second. Were we getting the possibility of an Iron Lad?
I think there is supposed to be a Young Avengers like being banted around.
And we did see Harley show up again in Endgame, so it's entirely possible that this is an Iron Lad happening. Yeah.
Then there's the after credits, which was a fun way to explain narration.
Yes,
because narration is so lazy most of the time.
It is. Shane Black loves it.
Yeah,
there's narration over, like Shane Black, like he is all about narration. After credits, we discover through all of this that Tony was telling his story to Bruce Banner, who fell asleep
right around Burn.
Yeah,
yes,
New Year's, so the very beginning of the movie.
I love it. Like, I'm not that kind of doctor.
Yeah,
that was very Bones McCoy.
This changed the whole movie. It changed everything about the context of the movie.
I think so. Yeah,
absolutely.
So
once
Tony finds out he wasn't listening, he starts to launch into 1983.
Yeah, that's
he starts to tell another story.
Yeah, different.
He was like, I still had a nanny at 14 years old. So, and that is the movie.
All right.
So when did this movie happen?
Right.
Well,
because it happened on Christmas. He's telling this past story. Did this happen?
But it's not the distant past. No, because
the Avengers.
No.
Because
definitely
other
after the
plot
Avengers
points are chronologically in place, like Iron Patriot.
I mean, and they clearly talk about the Avengers throughout. It's definitely Avengers happened on the date of the Avengers release, May 2nd, 2012 is the date of the Battle of New York in universe in the MCU.
So it's funny that he's retelling it to Bruce because it was probably in the news.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. But so I imagine this was probably taking place Christmas 2012. Because in 2013, May of 2013 is when he's on the couch with Bruce telling him the story, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So like a year has passed since the Avengers. Maybe he went home to Malibu for Christmas.
Yeah.
And left Bruce at the mansion or something. Because they were together at the end of the Avengers movie. They were both going to the Ark.
Doesn't Tony
Avengers
move into the tower? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He moves to New York, doesn't he?
The house is destroyed,
Yeah, because in the beginning, yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm just trying to place it like in like a physical time, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
Right after.
But it's
Yeah,
a good point, Brian, because it's like you're retelling an epic adventure in your life, and it's it just happened.
It just happened. Yeah.
Yeah. We as far as unanswered questions go, we kind of covered all the ones I had. It was mostly about the attack on the house, and then a little bit about
The rabbit's paws, obviously.
the rabbit's paws, yes, and a little bit about Aldrich's motivation for wanting to murder Tony.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're crazy, I suppose if you're that much of a sociopath to begin with, getting stood up is a good enough reason.
Yeah, to a narcissist.
Yeah.
Or a megalomaniac. Imagine if somebody stood Trump up. I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah.
I bet it loses his mind when people stand him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like kill list.
So yeah, that's it. I don't know. You guys have some final thoughts on this one?
Like you said, it's not without its problems, but it's a charming movie.
Absolutely.
The action's good and it's fun.
This is one of my favorite MCU movies, and it is low ranked on most people's lists.
Yeah, I like it better than the second one, even though Mickey Rourke and Sam Rockwell were great.
They were great, but I agree. I like this much better than the second one. I think it's a much it's a much better movie.
We didn't mention All Hail the King or Hail the King, the one shot?
Hail to the King?
We haven't mentioned any of the one shots, and there's been a few.
This one's the only one that really interconnects with anything cinematically. But there's a documentarian who arrives at the prison to interview Trevor Slattery and murders all of the prisoners who are like in Trevor's little cadre of people under orders from the actual Mandarin to kidnap him. He kidnaps him, right? He doesn't kill Trevor.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. But it's incredible. It's a really fun, like, twist on the twist.
Yeah. God, when did they stop doing the one shots? I can't remember.
Where do you find those? Are they like extras?
They were on. I think that one was on the Thor 2 DVD. I think I don't remember.
They
Dark
all
World.
came out on. They all came out on DVDs. I don't. They did stop doing them at one point, but there was a number of them. Coulson was in a few.
Yeah, that's basically what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter were born out of.
Yeah,
because Agent
Marvel
Carter
one-shot.
started as a one shot also.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe we should look at all the one shots sometime and just do a quick
it'd be fun.
Patreon special for it or something. But they stopped doing them at some point, but they are canon MCU. So you guys ready to rank Iron Man 3?
Sure.
All right, let's see here. I think a good jumping off point, and let me go ahead and we'll look at the ranking here so you guys can take a look too. I think a good jumping off point, Iron Man 2, we've got at number 16.
And just above that?
Well, and then the original Iron Man we have at number 3. So
well, we said at least you and I said we think it's better than 2.
Yeah, and Brian said it's one of his favorites, so I'd imagine Brian.
Number 1 was a necessary evil. I mean, like, I didn't love Obadiah Stane and that bullshit, but it had to happen, and it set a precedent. So I think Iron Man 1 is where it should be.
I agree. The first Iron Man was, watching it again for the first time in a long time, the first Iron Man was just like wow, this is so fun.
I put this in my mind around Dark Knight Rises,
which we've got at number 9.
Yeah, so I think this is better than that because it's more campy and fun.
I personally agree. I think it's better than Dark Knight Rises.
I could put it in between Spider-Man and Rises.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's a good like hero disassembled story.
It's got a Christmas vibe if you want that, but it's not over. It's got a kid, but that's not overly done. Like, it hits a lot of the notes. That's where I say.
Yeah, I could agree to that. In between,
same.
All right, that was fast and
Jordan.
simple. We're all on board. We'll put it at number.
Here to whip
9.
those votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Iron Man 3 goes at number 9, knocking Superman out of the top 10 again. It just barely got back there with our.
Well, I mean, Superman is in its own category, but at the same time, it didn't feel like it was starting a universe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a special movie and it deserves to be ranked high, but it was
But it stands alone.
It's no Iron Man 3.
Oh shit!
I mean, come on.
Like it just opened the door. It's no Iron Man 3.
So all right.
Funny, Shane Black has worked with the Donner Party quite a bit. Actually, the Lethal Weapon.
Oh, Lethal Weapon. Yeah, that was Richard Donner. I forgot about that. Yeah. Huh. So that brings us to next week. And next week on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are going to be watching Man of Steel. I could tell from the reaction. We're all looking forward to that one.
Kneel before Zod, I guess.
Kneel before Russell Crowe. Man of Steel. Back to the Snyderverse. Our first DC Snyder movie. God. All right.
The battle sequence.
Well, Watchmen is DC.
Watchmen is, but but it's not.
But Snyderverse.
The Snyderverse. Our first.
That's an alternate Snyderverse.
The Snyderverse. Yeah. So, that's next week, everybody. Thank you all for hanging out with us on Harmless Phosphorescence. This is Throw Smiley, and I'm going to go because honestly, I hate working here. They are all so weird.
I'm Josh Cece, and you loved me in A Christmas Story.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I feel much better. It's nice having someone listen to me talk.
Some people call me a terrorist. I consider myself an Alaric Weber.
And, that is it, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
We don't negotiate with Alarics.